Now, on to the fourth episode here of the Lamborghini Legend Pass. And I just mentioned some of the quests as well from Stage 3, because I know a couple of people had issues with those, and there were some questions to like, oh, do those. But like, yeah, realistically, a lot of these are really easy with one or two exceptions. Star up any car is a curiosity for me, because I'm wondering if that will work with something in my garage. But say perform shockwaves in the daily car loot events. This sucks so much. Like, this is not an interesting quest. Class A or C, and yeah, it's just a case of the daily car loot is just that one on the far left hand side. That's the only thing that people have to make sure for that. Open card packs, that is any pack which will open and give you a random reward. So if you do the like a car hunt, those packs that come from that, or the like class D, C, B, A, S, anything that'll have a random object inside there, that'll count as that. You don't have to like buy card packs from the store for that. Perform perfect runs in multiplayer. Just drive without impacting others in the sides. That could be hard. It may actually be hard for some players, I'm not sure. But yeah, the only thing for that is above a rank 1500. Reach top 3 in a race in San Fran and in Scotland. Like, you can do those at the very, very start of the career. Now I have them almost complete, but I'll show the track where I was using those. And beat 35 seconds in that Osaka course. Like, that's a really short Osaka course, and it's available nearly at the start of the career as well. So like, yeah, just really, really easy one. Destroy objects. You can farm a ton of those on the Caribbean if you want to farm this one. I wouldn't really go too far out of your way. Like, you get quite a lot of those on races, so you're gonna pretty much encounter those naturally enough. Performing knockdowns in a Lamborghini, that'll count anywhere, so you don't have to go and be toxic in multiplayer for that one. You can just drive normally, but then just take Lamborghinis into events and just murder the AI while you're driving through those. Perform 360s in a simple Lamborghini experience. I'll come back to that in a second. 3 shockwave knockdowns in a single race with a Class D car. Class D car is all that's needed for that. Shockwave knockdown is just at the point where you initiate the purple boosting. So, hey, you just want a long enough track for that. Traffic knockdowns, that just means run into traffic that's parked on the road. Like, that is the hardest quest of the stage 4. It's crazy. Most of this is just grinding stuff out. But yeah, Lamborghini Experience. This has to be done in the daily event that's called the Lamborghini Experience. And the only thing is, that was also used in episode 3 for something else, and it's catching out a lot of people because they're like unsure what that Lamborghini Experience is. That only refers to this event right here inside the daily events, literally called Lamborghini Experience. The only thing is, and it's kind of weird, that event is only in place for the next week, which would be very unusual if there isn't going to be a second Lamborghini Experience, because yeah, that will render this Legend Pass like undoable after the 7-day mark has passed. Really, really strange one, because like, maybe they'll extend the time on this, maybe there'll be a part 2 to the experience, but otherwise, like, yeah, once we go past next week, it will be impossible to buy the Legend Pass and complete the events which are related to Lamborghini Experience, because yeah, that's here and it's going to go away. But I have a feeling that one might be extended on a small bit. Now, star up any car. Now, that's either going to be the Veneno for me after next week, unless something works for me in the garage, because all the time I've had the Mazda Furai sitting here completely ready to star up, but I'm not sure if that would have counted when I got the 40-second blueprint for that, or if it would actually count if I would star up. And it would be cool if it did. The reason I was leaving it in the garage like that is just because, yeah, I wanted it there as a kind of spoiler prevention thing for me, yeah, for buying card packs and stuff like that. But at least it's useful for something. So yeah, that counts as starring up the car, even though that was just sitting in my garage for absolutely ages. Handy enough. And yay, now I've got a 4-star Furai, which I have no intention of doing anything with. Otherwise, if people are upgrading the Jesco from that Grand Prix that's on at the moment, or else, like I said, getting the Benino or the Gallardo, like, yeah, just I wouldn't stress too much out about trying to get that now. Just get it, like, yeah, coming down the line in the next, like, 4, 5, 6 weeks of this Legend Pass. Don't go crazy for it. It's just, yeah, I happen to have that Furai there so that my UI constantly had a marker over my cars, but I'd prefer to have a quest done rather than have spoiler prevention for myself. Easiest place by far to farm out these San Fran and Scotland races here. It's just right at the very start of career. Class D novice. You can literally just mash A for a lot of this. I'm not sure if the King here would be able to do it, but say the DSE 10s or Lotus Elise. As long as they're over 1 star, because one of them has a requirement of the car at least being 2 stars or greater. It doesn't have to be 2 stars. Those star rating is just like 2 stars or better. Yeah, just chuck this car in here. Leave it on touch drive. It's going to farm it out. And yeah, like I said, there's no real challenge with this. It's just a case of it takes some time. The other way you can do this is like ignore the farming portion of this and just come in and actually... AI, what are you doing? Yeah, to ignore the farming part of this and just go with like racing normally over multiplayer races and stuff like that, because you should be grand to be able to get like yeah, kind of this amount of wins. Scotland is a fairly common course, San Fran the exact same way, so like if you don't want to farm these ones out, just ignore them. They will complete over time anyway, like in the next couple of weeks. It's just a case of, yeah, I like to try and get these done as quickly as possible. That said, this day is kind of annoying to me a small bit because I won't be able to reach the yeah, tier that I wanted for the Benino, which sucks, but yeah, very strange layout of this. Again, stage 1 is great for Scotland. Stage 6 up here is the water side of, yeah, San Fran. And like I said, Lotus Elise or the DSE 10s can easily farm these ones out. Yeah, the 760 rating requirement for these means that most cars should be fine for farming it, but the DSE 10s and the Lotus have like really good handling, so that's why I've just been like doing other bits and pieces back there and yeah, running these cars for a while today. Took about an hour or so to farm out all the runs. Like I said, with touch drive, even with a King getting in the way, there is like the AI at that rating should really drop behind you. Definitely by the end of the track, even if they do get in the way. I had, yeah, these went like 60 races with no issues because, yeah, just farmed them all out earlier on. With, yeah, like I said, with the exception of just the last ones. But again, simple out, no challenge. If you don't want to farm them out, don't go for this and just, yeah, do multiplayer and stuff the rest of the week. One of them requires to finish the race in the top 3 position and the other one requires to win. So yeah, it might take you a small bit more time to actually win the races, but in the career those are simple. It's just a case of put it in, touch drive, rush, rinse, repeat. There we go, free tier unlocked. So they performed Shockwaves in a daily car loot event. Yeah, that 19 was done in a single run. With the C or the A class cars, just daily car loot. It's the very far left daily event. That's the only thing you have to make sure of with this. And yeah, just like say, I did one in the J50. I'll do one in a C class, say Viper ACR. And you can do these like all pretty much in almost one go. Roman Tumble is a bit of a pain for getting started off in it, but if you just fill up your nitro bar with a drift at the start and then just consecutively press like X and Y together and then immediately B, keep drifting in a kind of a wiggle state and then yeah, press X, Y, B, X, Y, B, X, Y, B. All it counts is the second the car flashes purple, it'll grant you the yeah, Nitro Shockwave. So drift, and then just, yeah, Nitro Shockwave repeatedly while wiggling the stick left to right like that. And you can probably get your 25, oh, that was a 10th one even counted there. But you can probably get your 25 in a single run. I just messed up with the J50 on my first attempt at it. But yeah, it's just wiggle, X, Y, B, X, Y, B, X, Y, B the whole way along. I think that was about 19 in a single race again. So yeah, this is easy enough to do. It is just a case of throw away 2 tickets, or 1 if you can wiggle a bit better than that. Let's see. Boom, tier 23 now unlocked. Nice. Oh, traffic knockdowns as well counted with that. Because, yeah, cracked into that car at the side of the road. That's not a difficult thing to do. That's a you drove poorly kind of thing. And that was like the biggest tier in this episode of the thing. Such a weird quest. Meija Rush in a single race to an Osaka. Like, that's a weird one. But yeah, if you go into career, you can find that straight away here at the heart of Kansai. It's literally the very first track, and yeah, like the cars available for that are pretty powerful. Say, just chuck the Honda Civic, but it's a 30-second track, so finishing this in under 35 seconds is fairly trivial as long as you've got a decent enough car using for it. And yeah, like I said, you can find like Osaka stages are only found in that portion of the career, and realistically, like this 30-second one is never ever going to appear in multiplayer. So to get this done, you really just need to come in here to the career, pick your best D class, and yeah, give it a run of it. Nice enough track though, but like Osaka has been having so many game crashes on this the last couple of weeks now. It's just annoying. A load of obstacles there as well that I could have been crashing through, but didn't. This is a course that actually, I'm getting flashbacks from using this for the Honda Civic, because this is that one that you had to run like 100 or so times to get, to try and get one epic for that Honda. Punch it into the wall, 5 seconds to spare, handy enough. Quest complete, one go. Like I said, if you have issues with that weight and 5 seconds of a gap is like, yeah, like that track is designed to be done in 30 seconds. So now the opening card packs, like I said, that is just not like purchase cards, but it's any of the daily events here that have like random packs attributed to them. So the VLF Force 1 type of pack would count for that. The A-Class Cup would count for that. Things that would not count for that are places like, say, where this one gives the Viper GTS card, because yeah, like that's not a random thing. But any of these packs that have like random items or import parts and stuff like that will count. So all you need to do is, yeah, just Class A Cup or a few runs of the car hunts. I may as well go with the Lamborghini Experience. That way I can pick up a couple of knockdowns as well at the start of the track, considering the fact that this one asks you to use the Experience, or well, use a Lamborghini for some knockdowns. I should be okay with this. Thinking though, with this car, will I be able to get the 106? Yeah, I should be able to. Maybe. I think all I need is one pack from this anyway, but yeah, if I can get a couple of knockdowns, it's not going to be too bad. The AI are pretty handy at the start of most of these races. I'm trying to remember actually, was it a 360 knockdown in particular? No, I think just knockdowns in Lamborghinis was enough to do it. This is such an odd car. It's like, yeah, I know like a load of people would obviously be getting this. It's another one that kind of like the Centenario for me, like where it'll be probably the first of its class that you get. It costs an absolute ton of credits, but it's not exactly amazing. It's cool, but it's never really going to be your first choice, I think, unless you absolutely have to kind of use it for events like this. That said, like, it's got potential enough. It's just a case of, I think its main problem is like the 918 Spider. It's just, it's a boring car. See, did I actually get the 102? Yeah, I got the 107. I know this used to be a 102 to actually get all these packs, but yeah, like I said, all those count towards that card pack opening, and yeah, that should be number 20 for me. And some extra trade coins. Woohoo! Oh, our 12k credits, actually way better than trade coins at the moment. 17k credits. Awesome. I always kind of farm out all of these days after the Class C and D ones, because yeah, the credits inside those boxes are decent enough. And boom, unlock that. And yeah, I managed a vicious 2 knockdowns in a Lamborghini. To be fair, yeah, like you can see here, the destroy objects one is ticking closer and closer to be completion before I'll be finished with any of the other ones, especially this perfect runs in multiplayer, because you get about maybe 5 through 10 of those in a run. So definitely gonna have to do at least like kind of 5 to 10 runs of MP for those perfect runs. Now, 3 shockwave knockdowns in a single race using a Class D car, and say get some more destroy objects in here. Career, Class D novice, but this time go for like a slightly longer track. Himalayas, dipping down. It's always one of my go-to tracks for being nice and long. And yeah, just pick your Lotus Elise, easily like one of the easiest cars to wiggle up some nitro meter. And with the AI at 800 rating, all you're going to need to do here is just wait up for them and just charge up that nitro meter and then blast them out of the way with shockwave over and over again. As I was saying, like I'm also going to be just trying to farm out some items as well, objects to knock down. So there's quite a few things in the Himalayan tracks just off the track. So I will be not exactly not exactly focused on winning the race or anything, because that's not a requirement to this. Just knock down items and knock down AI using the Nitro Shockwave. Just need to actually make sure I'm in the nitro state. But yeah, I see all the like boxes and stuff here just off the road. Just grind out some of those, as well as grinding out AI using shockwave. Again, you just have to be incredibly careful not to dash too far ahead, if anything, because that AI is just so low rated by this stage in the career. 2 more. I just want to make sure, don't want to leave anything to chance with this, just because sometimes, like, if you come out, hello Furai AI. But yeah, sometimes if you come out of the shockwave, it doesn't quite count that, so it's easy just to do an extra 1 or 2 just for good measure. I might as well go ahead and, I was going to say win the race for the extra credit benefit of this, but realistically in these early career races, it's kind of not a whole lot of credits for winning them even. Just see if we got any items on here. I know if I want to actually specifically farm out destroying items and objects, the Caribbean tracks are absolutely the best place to go for that, because there is one track in particular where there's like just hundreds of chairs and stuff set down there. But I wouldn't advise farming that one out. That doesn't need to be like focused on, in my opinion. Tier 24 unlocked. Nice. Perform 2 360 knockdowns in a single Lamborghini Experience event. And I was just going to mention as well, from the season 3 or the episode 3 one, because I didn't do an episode on that. I did, but honestly my game just kept crashing and I was just like, I can't even be bothered editing that together. It was genuinely like the game crashing, and this really ruins my desire to play this, because yeah, I don't think there's anything worse than when you're trying to do something or in the middle of something and then just wonk, game crash. Sucks. Pick up 4 nitro bottles in a single Lamborghini Experience. Like, those are just a case of, like I said earlier, daily events, Lamborghini Experience right here. And yeah, I'm just going to use the Hurricane Evo Spider. For the 4 nitro bottles, I think I may have just cheesed those, as in just slow up and collect them. Play anyway, because I have all the rewards. But yeah, for the 2 360 knockdowns, as easy as it sounds, just make sure it's inside in this race. And yeah, you'll need to catch the AI at the start, because the AI in this experience are really weak, and they'll just drop back really quickly. So just and back. Those crashes suck so much, don't, especially with the Legend Pass rewards, given the fact that like the Legend Pass gives you extra fuel units for your car and a free ticket refill, and then you need to use the free ticket refill because yeah, an event crashes repeatedly, or use the fuel units because an event crashes repeatedly, and you lose fuel and you lose tickets. Sucks so much. 360, knock down, get out of my way, AI. Yeah, like I said, though, it is just a case of, if anything, the AI here, you'll need to like wait for them a small bit, because they are incredibly weakly tuned in this Lamborghini Experience event. You can get the 4 nitro bottles if you go on here, though, like I said as well, for the episode 3 event, if you're having any issues with that at all, or you can just stop up on the road and just cheese them. But yeah, I've got my 2 knockdowns easily counted. Will I be get a third? I'll clunk into them after the line. Naturally doesn't count, but still, yeah, that's the 2 nitro, or the 2 360 knockdowns counted up, and yeah, a couple more knockdowns in the Lamborghini as well, so it's all good. There's my percentage reputation increase for the club. Awesome. Should mention, by the way, the Grand Tour, my club in game. So yeah, my club here, the Grand Tour Discord link is up there in the thing. But yeah, as you can see on that also, we are at 19 out of 20 members. So if there's anyone looking for a club that's in the top 22 positions, yeah, feel free to join that Discord link and give a shout there, or else just leave a comment below in this video, or yeah, send us a PM. Like I said, on Discord might be the easiest thing if you're interested in joining us up. And yeah, as you can imagine, obviously enough, like we're at 2.5 million. We have the last reward coming in with a week to spare on this, so yeah, you need to be an active enough racer, and yeah, just give us a shout if you're interested in that, because it'd be cool to recruit some one of the people who watch the videos and follow my channel and content and stuff. So yeah, like I said, the Discord link is right there. Otherwise, give a shout in the comments of this video if you're interested in that. For performing knockdowns, and I'm just finishing off that destroy objects quest here, and one place that's handy enough for those is inside something like Class B Novice. Because it's Class B, it'll let you use the Evo Spider, which is really nice car to yeah, like for the handling of it. 1000 Minarets is a handy enough track because it's got a ton of debris and objects and stuff all over the place. Like I say again, just lock in our Lamborghini, and yeah, just gun for those AI, because of the fact that my version of this car is 4K as well rated, and the requirement for this race is 1500. Most of my issues with farming out here has just been a case of having to wait for that AI to yeah, come up and actually like be anywhere close to me. You can see like traffic cones and like vases and stuff littered all over this track. Is also like there's absolutely tons of objects to destroy, as well as a beautiful Lotus Avija. And is that an Apollo? I'm not actually sure what that was. That car. But yeah, just gonna over here just to get some of these traffic cones, phone booths, boxes. I don't actually, yeah, need to slow right down. I'm sorry, person's vending machine. And Avija. Boom. Again, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Apollo N. If anything, that's going to help me out here, because it's just going to put me behind the AI, in which case I can just destroy them all again from the back. Oh, and more barrels and boxes. Woohoo! Just make sure I follow the right path. Why was that guy braking so much in the air? Like I said, if anything, the AI here is going to be a pain just because of how low rated they actually are, just to catch them out in the rookie event, in the fact that like they're going to really be trying to slow down to not defeat my car, because yeah, AI are just weird the way they're tuned against, like in these events. It is just a case of that they slow down for players. Farming out the last of the items here easily enough. Like you can see just a crazy amount, especially if you got on this left hand path towards the end, there is just objects galore all over the stage. Even here on the final straight as well, there's just stuff everywhere. Yeah, we'll see. That should be at least my objects done. I think I probably would have got 6 knockdowns. Maybe? Destroy objects 300. And knockdowns 25. Yeah, handy enough. And that just leaves me with this one here, which is perform perfect runs in multiplayer by 50. Perfect run is make sure your car is at about 75% speed, and yeah, don't hit the walls. And once you've been at 75% speed or greater for around about 13 or 14 seconds, you'll get your first one of those, and then the next one should follow about 10 seconds after that. Just has to be done in multiplayer. One way you could just grind that out is put the car in touch drive, repeatedly do that over and over again. It would grind that out really, really fast. Before I finish that one off, by the way, I wanted to mention this mission here from episode 3 because I really enjoyed doing that in the recording that I did. I just didn't upload that one because, like I said, I was so pissed off with the game crashing over and over again. It just put me right off playing this, and I just ended up playing a bunch of other games. And like I said, didn't upload that. But this drift 25,000 meters, there's a really fun thing you can actually do for that. Watch my game crash again. But yeah, no. So if you come into career and pick Class B Rookie here, and yeah, go up to stage 10, you can do this on a lot of the Shanghai courses. But I just really enjoyed this because it's using the Asterion, and that is not a car that's fun to drift in. So if you still have a requirement of getting this one done, you might just bring it in here and go for Reach for the Sky. You can do this in a couple of the Shanghai courses, just which involve this part of the track, and you'll see exactly what I was doing for it. This requirement, by the way, does not mean that you need to finish the race, so it doesn't matter if you get DQ'd in this one. And Reach for the Sky, while it is a short enough track, the portion of the track that I want to use is like towards the very, very start of it. And yeah, this is how I grinded this out, and I grinded up the total amount of the drifting in this really, really bad handling car. I grinded it out in a matter of maybe 2 refills of the fuel units, and it's just a case of Asterion does not handle well, and it handles even worse while you're drifting, so I did not want to be doing an excessive amount of runs in it. And yeah, I think you can get a feel pretty fast as to exactly why I picked this track and the Asterion. And yeah, bring the car up to about 107 miles an hour, and you just drift until you get DQ'd out of the race, basically. This is how I did my 25k in this. And like, you could do this naturally if you wanted to with the Asterion. The only problem for that is you would have to race in the Asterion, and I would rather literally anything else in the world than do that. So yeah, I just brought it in here, cheesed it out for the yeah, like as long as you keep the speed up to the point where you're not going in the wrong way for too long, the game isn't going to reset you. So like, yeah, bring it up to about the 100 miles an hour mark, and you should be safe to do your donuts here. Make absolute ruins out of the track and light up those brake pads inside. But yeah, like I said, because of the fact that this one doesn't require the race to be finished, each yard that you do in that before you would get disqualified counted towards the total of the 25,000. And yeah, this is like nice handy way of getting that quest done from episode 3. Just if anyone was still looking for a way of grinding out some yards or meters drifted with that Asterion. I said I'd add in how I done my version of that in the previous week's events. If anyone has any questions in particular, by the way, about certain episode 3 quests, I think the rest of them were all pretty easy. Like 5 jumps in a multiplayer race, 500 reputation, apply import parts. They don't really get much easier. The only thing that was wrong in some people's game files is there was text missing from a lot of these. And yeah, that obviously renders them kind of impossible to figure out without going to online resources like Discord and Facebook groups. These perfect runs count up really quickly in multiplayer. The only thing you have to be careful of is, I actually thought, oh, I'll do some of these in the multiplayer 2. And yeah, I derped a small bit because I'm not 1,500 rating in that. Yeah, it was just completely like, wait, these aren't counting. Oh yeah, because whoops. But at the same time, yeah, in multiplayer 1, it only takes a handful of runs to do this. San Fran, Downtown Rise, simple here to finish this one off. Like, the touch drive method definitely is faster, I think, for grinding these. In an average race, if you're like knocking into players and getting grinded off walls and stuff like that, you probably get about 5 or 6 of these. If you actually leave a really slower car in touch drive, you'll end up getting a lot more, because if you put something like a Lotus Elise or the DSC 10, if you put something like a Lotus Elise or the DSC 10s into a high ranked multiplayer race, it'll actually get tons and tons of the perfect runs, because it'll drive incredibly slowly and it'll just hang behind the rest of the pack, so that way you'll be able to like just completely soak up perfect runs left, right and center. It's just a case of using these faster cars just to grind out those packs that bit faster. So how did I get back into first? What were they doing? I exploded. Oh. Yeah, I guess this Pagani is a bit of a beast on San Fran. Even, with an explosion at the start. I love ramming right in the corner of this. I think it's vital that you explode to the finish. Like, nowhere else can you have a Pagani explode like that into confetti. And like I said, that should be the last of my perfect runs there. 3 extra cups towards the finishing off the multiplayer runs for the day. But handy enough. Nice, that's all of my quests complete. Now, I think that should bring me close enough to the Galado possibly getting unlocked. No, I'm going to need about 5 or 6 more. I know that there is some from the rewards from this guy as well. I'm to soak up these though, and the main thing here, stereo parts, 75k, which is like a cool enough amount of credits, but still it's not going to do too much for my horrendous lack of them. 100k, that'll do slightly more. Galado brings it up to within 6 blueprints, so that's next week for unlocking that for me. Percentage reduction again on the bundle pass, so that's on what would be 30 euros. It'll bring it down to 15 euros next time, not a reduction on the standard pass. 50% increased reputation for the club, nice enough little perk to have. Admittedly, it's only going to count for the Grand Tour, like I said, from next week for us, because we are just coming up on the final reward now for that one. New tires for the Asterion, hood for this there. I didn't actually even check out the bits and pieces for that last week. I was just so like miffed by the way the game was performing, and it is still actually performing. I've got a couple of crashes in this today. It's just kind of a bit on the it's already well gotten old. As for my Veneno event though, which really sucked, I was kind of thinking with the Veneno, the fact that I would be able to get to the next blueprints in that, and like this Legend Pass is absolutely really poorly designed for people who bought the base pass, because you get all these Lamborghini Veneno blueprints up along here, so you've got a chunk more around the corner, but they're obviously out of range from players who purchased the season pass, so you won't get those actual blueprints until like after the special event has gone away, which really sucks, because if you see in my Veneno event here, I am just under the 4th star for this car, and when I say just under, I am 2 blueprints underneath that. Now the thing is, I could buy those 2 blueprints by opening up a 10 pack of cards, but it would be completely a waste, because of the fact that like I would buy those and I actually still couldn't do this event because of the fact that I'm so credit starved. Even though the 750 tokens would be rewarded immediately here, if I could do this race, I actually can't. I would need to spend around 4 million credits on the Veneno to upgrade it to the rank requirement for this race, which means that there is no benefit whatsoever for me to start this car up before the actual special event goes away. It sucks, but like that's just down to the design of this thing. I will come away from this event with a 4-star Veneno, but I won't have gotten to actually use it other than use the 3-star one here for this stage 15, cool enough, get back 300 tokens that way. But at the same time, it's like, just sucks the layout of this one. It really badly designed. But yeah, I guess the idea behind that is to give that buyer's remorse of, oh, you should have bought that €15 season pass instead of the 10. But no, to me, that's just a case of, maybe I shouldn't have got the €10 season pass. Whichever, like, I'm sure that's one that's going to catch out loads and loads of players. But the Veneno, I think, was low on the priorities list for most players anyway. It's just, it's a cool car. It's nice looking, but it's not exactly Yesco kind of status in this game in the slightest. Now, I'm just wondering, did that unlock anything cool looking or bizarre looking for this Asterion? In case anyone is like jonesing for some awesome Asterion content. Oh, that's kind of cool, like an extra air intake up the side of the actual bonnet. Yeah, not too bad an idea. Cool. Like, the aerodynamics and stuff of this doesn't get impacted by the actual body parts in the slightest, but still, it's cool looking. Main power, side trims. If you want to get yourself a budget Chiron looking car. Oh god, I think you'd know the difference very quick as soon as you literally did anything at the car. But so that's cool. It like increases the size all the way to the actual boot, kind of putting an overlaid spoiler at the back. Strange design. Anyway, just got some rims and tires picked up with those. All the canine. Not too cool. It's kind of it's kind of odd with these, because like say you get these 3 rims unlocked, but I guess that one is sort of cool-ish, but yeah, it's not exactly gonna be amazing still with it's still an Asterion. Tires wise then with the designs. I actually unlocked a good few of those. Some of these were probably last week's ones. I kind of like that metal look a small bit on some cars. The one which is just like, yeah, it kind of gives the wheels an extra steel look, especially with that inner tire and rim combination. I think it looks kind of cool. Same time, I cannot express enough how hard. Yeah, I just like, this car is never one of the ones that I'm going to pick first in multiplayer or any event unless it's absolutely completely required. But yeah, guys, if these videos do help you out at all, please, there is a sub button up there over my head. There is other videos on my channel here and here. And yeah, if you go ahead and give those a click, that really helps me out more than I can describe. And yeah, like Grand Prix is still ongoing. Veneno event is just wrapping up tomorrow, or maybe by the time this video is uploaded. But yeah, guys, good luck and drive safe.